We are back at Majula. Over there, the Emerald Herald that we talked to last episode. Last episode we started the game, watched some cinematics, set up our character and traveled to Majula. Now, this episode we will head up in this direction and try to clear the Forest of the Fallen Giants. So, two bosses in there, which we'll hopefully kill in this episode. I don't know how long it will take, but we'll get there. I'm sure of it. I will try to get as many items as I can, talk to as many characters as I can, and read as many item descriptions as I can, if I think they are important to the story. But for the most part, these are just like the rusted coin we just got. Those are just regular usable items that have nothing very interesting to say in their item descriptions, so we'll skip those. But maybe equipment stuff and armor and weapons, I will read out those just so we can hear them once. But apart from that, I will try not to talk too much during this episode and yeah, just show some gameplay. So I will shut my mouth and let you enjoy the game. Another bonfire in here, hidden in this little crevice. We did find a helm, which we don't have, so let's look at the description. Helm worn by hollowed infantry, a piece of basic minimal equipment. Worse yet, it's worn and nearly falling apart. Not recommended unless your options are spent. Well, I believe our options are spent enough to use it, so let's just put it on. Looks nice. The hollow soldiers wear this helm that we just fought earlier. These are just regular soldiers of Dragon Lake that were cursed by the undead curse, just like we are, and they died a little too much, so they always lost a little bit more of themselves and their personality and character, and didn't find any new purpose to fill the holes, so they eventually went hollow, and now they're just walking aimlessly throughout the lands, attacking anyone on sight, just to give a little insight to who we are even fighting over here. So that's about it. Well, that was bad, but nothing really of importance up there. There was one item, but it's just a little a weapon that we can't use without any real significance to the plot or anything, so we'll skip that. Now we killed every enemy in here except for this man over here, sitting below his tree and looking sad. He is hollowed as well, but I don't know, he's just chilling, having a good time, but it looks like he might have some very interesting loot, so why don't we just check this out and try to get it. Alright, we got him. Let's see what he dropped. A Hate's Knight Sword. Let's look at it. Straight sword originating in hate, or heat, or heat, or I don't know. However you want to pronounce it. A special alloy makes it very durable. The composition of the alloy of these swords remains a mystery, but in Drang Lake the attempt to imitate it resulted in the similar Braden steel. So this is a fine weapon, but we can't use it because we do not meet the stat requirements over here. We would need more dexterity to use it, and we see that it would do less damage than our current weapon in physical damage, but it is also imbued with lightning, so we would do some lightning damage if we used it, which we can't. So let's just put that away. This just shows that there are other kingdoms beside Drang Lake. Hate seems to be one of them, and they existed during the same time period, because the Drang Lake smiths try to reproduce the hate alloy. So let's adventure on. And we have found our first shield. Let's take a look. A traditional small metal shield. Small shields are very light and easy to use, but have low stability when attacked. The center of the buckler is convex, designed to brush attacks aside, making parrying easier. This is a parry shield that we, again, cannot use effectively because we do not meet the stat requirements. We still don't have enough dex to use it. It also doesn't have 100% physical resistance, which means we could block with it, but we could still get 25% of the damage that we would normally get, so it's not really that good, which is why I won't be using it. Yeah, so we're better off just dodging enemy attacks instead of trying to block and receiving 25% damage. Might as well just take no damage at all. witching urns, just some throwable items that will do some magic damage. Let's open these doors and find the second bonfire of the Forest of the Fallen Giants. Let's light it and talk to this person over here.
Buy something, anything. Oh, come now, help an old woman and buy something. My name is Melentia. You're a stranger to this land. Oh, we get as strangers these days. Everybody's gone and run off. Drang Lake's been up a pile of rubble since the war, fought long, long ago. And the giants crossed the sea. It seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself have nary a place to sleep. That's why I keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own. They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you know what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says. It's high time that I pick up a move. I've a bargain for you next time we meet, my love. Lonely times these are.
So, that was Melentia the Merchant. Talked about some significant things to the plot. Talked about the downfall of Drang Lake. We are currently in Drang Lake, and we can certainly see that it fell, because it's in ruins, and it's completely overgrown with plants and trees and roots that are growing from somewhere. So we heard Drang Lake fought a war against giants, and apparently they lost. Or at least they took considerable damage, and from the corpses of the giants grew great trees that we see everywhere in this area. So that's apparently how Drang Lake ended. So let's adventure. I forgot to rest at the bonfire, so you see my sword is almost broken, which will be repaired at this bonfire. Sorry about that. So it's the red bar below just below the weapon. Once it reaches 0, it gets destroyed and can only be repaired by a blacksmith, which is really inconvenient, and we don't want that to happen. Got a hollow soldier helmet, different from the hollow infantry helmet. So let's just look at that one. helm worn by the hollowed royal soldiers. It appears to be crafted with quality materials, but is highly degraded and close to falling apart. Wearing this will be of little use. So we see it's definitely better in every single way, except that it's a little heavier, but we don't care about that. So let's put it on. Looks nice. Let's throw on. Just slowly working my way through this area. Oh, well, good thing we didn't rush, else you would have been crushed. Another human effigy. And in this little cave that we find the very confused Kale, the cartographer. Let's talk to him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just daydreaming, I think. My name is Kale. I'm a traveler like yourself. I'm navigating the continent to create a map. Why cartography, you ask? Well, that's a good question. When I first came into this forsaken land, it was a curse? Something about a curse? How embarrassing. I seem to have lost my focus. But I do know one thing for certain. I have always been very fond of maps. I came to this land some time ago. Drangleic, the Lost Kingdom. It sounded so romantic. Have you seen Majula? Oh, there's a rather spacious mansion there. I made it my temporary home, well, as something of a squatter, I'm afraid. Inside the mansion, I found a strange map, like none I'd ever seen. I believe that it's a map of Drangleic. Now I'm traveling the land to prove it. Yes, that's it. That's why I came to the kingdom. Wait, no, that wasn't it. Then what? I don't seem to recall. Were you looking for that map? Wonderful. Then you're fascinated by maps, just like me. Shame on you. You should have told me before. Here, take this. A key to the mansion. What a joy to meet a kindred spirit out here. Incredible, really, isn't it? Such a map to be chiseled in stone. Oh, but one thing. I would not venture deep into the mansion. I can't be certain, but I've heard disturbing noises. Something about it feels wrong. Just be careful, please. I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again and discuss maps at our leisure. I'll be...
So, that was Kale, the cartographer, really into maps for some reason, but to each his own. And he gave us a key to a mansion in Majula, where he lived. You can always get a lot of information from descriptions of keys. So, let's look at it. These three are for the DLC, we'll look at those later. And here's our house key. Show item info. Key to the abandoned house in Majula, received from Kale, the cartographer. In the past, Majula served as a dumping ground for horrible things, but is now a gathering place for those with no better place to go. It seems this house in Majula was the final home for few such souls. So, we'll check the house out later. Maybe we'll find some lost souls in there. We've met the end in this mansion. No one knows. We see there's another item over there, guarded by what appears to be a turtle with a hammer. So we'll get there later, and we will get there too. So let's keep going. Skip these two enemies because they're annoying to fight. In here, see a broken wall and not a very welcoming sight. Oh, not welcoming indeed. We died. Not prepared for what we encountered in this room, but it's okay. We rested at the bonfire and didn't lose too much progress. So now, as you can see at our arm, we are no longer Steve, the noble knight. We are now Mr. Steve, the zombie. And we lost some max health because of it. But that's fine, we can just get our humanity back by using a human effigy. Which we'll do later, maybe. And we're back. A little bit of friendly fire over here. But let's fight these I will not read item descriptions that from sets that we already read, because well, we just found some gauntlets, I think, from the Hollow Soldier set, and we already read the helm description, and the unique description for the set doesn't change. So there will only be some more text that says, oh, you found gauntlets, or you found a helm, or you found, well, whatever. But the important text we already read. Little trap over here. And some smithing equipment. But we did find a shield up there. The blue wooden shield. Let's read. Wooden shield used from ancient times, inferior to metal shields in terms of stability and physical damage reduction, but it's easy to use and weighing so little that it hardly requires any strength to bear. That's a shield that we can finally use. So you see, we meet the set requirements. 85% damage reduction. That's pretty decent. Not the best, but fine for what we want to do. See, over here there's a door. It doesn't open from this side. Maybe we just need to knock and wait for someone to open. There we find more smithing stuff and the life ring that we could have chosen as our starting gift. Let's read what it says. An old ring set with a red jewel raises maximum HP. Each ring has a different power, and even very modest rings can be a great boon on a perilous journey. Let's put it on. Raises our max health a little bit, not too much, but it doesn't hurt to put it on. So we'll use that until we find something better, just like the shield. Now, these scorpions we can use actually. We could use them, for example, to take out this mighty enemy. Oh, if we don't die from... Oh, never mind. His body's killed him. Let's heal up. And shut up again. So we learned earlier that dying giants turn into trees, and here we have our first giant, a dead one, sprouting trees. Let's examine it. Alas, nothing happened. We'll come back later for these things, but right now you can only look at it and feel the sadness of the giants. They'll get important later on, but right now, let's just leave them. Well, bad news, we died. Good news, by the power of video editing, I can just remove that. Just forget that ever happened. I'm bad at this game, I think. I don't deny it, but let's soldier on. Do better this time. The Mailbreaker and the Infantry Helmet. Mailbreaker is a thrusting sword, a slightly stubby thrusting sword, has a sharp, sturdy blade designed for thrusting. The Mailbreaker has limited reach, but a powerful critical attack, effective against foes donning thick armor or with naturally hard skin. It's shield piercing, so does damage through shields with its heavy attack. And we found a better version of our little infantry helm. Maybe it does. Yeah, it's just the same helm that we used earlier, just not as battered and bruised. It looks better, it's shiny, it's better stats because it's not, well, used and old, but it's, so let's use that because has better stats than our infantry helm that we used earlier. See, we got parried there. See, I'm so bad, twice in the Forest of Fallen Giants, and then the AI parries me. Well, can't help it. I'm bad at video games. We have found a halberd, which is a really good weapon. At least I think so. Halberds are combinations of axes and spears with unique bladed tips. Can be used in spear-like thrust attacks or in axe-like sweeping attacks. The halberd challenges our warrior skills, but can be a very effective weapon when its two functions are applied properly. We, again, do not meet the set requirements, and I don't think we ever will. I'm not sure what kind of build I'm doing, but It's a pretty good weapon, has a nice moveset. And we enter the mist. Another shield. Let's see if it's any good. A large leather shield. A leather-covered shield preferred by hunters. Inferior to metal shields in terms of stability and physical damage reduction, but easy to use and weighing so little that it hardly requires any strength to bear. Oh, so it's the same paragraph as the blue wooden shield. I see. Well, weighs a little bit more, but has more damage reduction, so let's take it. Open up a little shortcut. Over there is the ladder where we came in from the bonfire, and over here is an elevator into the deep. Another fog gate. Could it be? Yes, it's the first boss. The last giant. I will shut up now because I really like the opening cinematic of the boss fight, and I also don't want to talk over boss fights because then I can just cut out the bad boss fights where I die. I don't believe I'll die on this one, but on the later ones I probably will, so I can just edit in a good one. I'm bad at games, I know, but it's okay. Let's enter the mists and fight the last giant. And we got him. That was a really mediocre fight, if not to say bad fight. Got hit a lot and had to heal a lot, which is pretty bad for this boss. Because he's really easy. He has like 2 attacks and you can just trap him in a cycle where he'll just stomp and you can dodge him really easy. I see bad runs in my future. Bad bosses and many deaths. And hopefully we'll get it somehow. Soul of the last giant, soul of the surviving giant, who was bound below the forest of the giants. The lord of the giants, who had brought wreck and ruin to the entire kingdom, was said to have been felled by an unknown warrior. His beaten and broken remains were then dragged beneath the stronghold, where he was sealed away. He used the special soul of the last giant to acquire numerous souls, or to create something of great worth. So it was the last giant of the giants that destroyed this land, and it was not only the last giant, but it was also the king of the giants, felled by an unknown warrior. The soldier key, the key to the soldier's door in the forest of the giants. A fort was erected in the forest to face the giants, but now the soldiers are lost and hollowed. They are enfeebled, but not without honor, and continue to steadfastly defend their country. Those are the dudes we fought. And that was the king of the giants, trapped in this cave and ensnared under copious amounts of rubble until we came along. Over here is a door that won't open until much later, but we'll come back for that, I believe. That was the first boss. That went pretty okay. And I'll just rest at a bonfire and move on to the next part.